The beach, the perfect place for a nice little getaway. Over at the beach, there's no need for worries, and you can do just about anything. Whether that be laying on the sand, digging a hole for no reason, enjoying the pier, or even going out to the nice waters. And of course, nothing could ever ruin any of that, except for maybe a shark? Shark Week is a joyous time of the year. I'm a big celebrator for it. As you can see for this year, I got my Shark shirt right now. Beginning in 1988 on the Discovery Channel, every year a week in the summer is dedicated to hours and hours of Shark Week being dropped for the viewers to just dig in. Now, why did this happen in the first place? Well, Discovery had a lot of shark content, and well, shark content is popular. And this popularity had exponentially grown with the release of Jaws just 3 years prior. Its impact in pop culture cannot be understated. It's left an immense impact on summer blockbusters, while also destroying the reputation of sharks for eternity.
Do you know if a shark really exists, or was it?
I really don't know.
No,
well,
we're not going swimming tomorrow.
It's killed? You're scared? No, you're not.
Sam.
You gonna sleep well tonight?
No. No.
So safe to say, sharks were in. Over the last nearly 40 years since Shark Week began, the series has grown an insane amount. Countless celebrities have hosted the program. As of this year's Shark Week in 2024, I believe it's being hosted by John Cena. That's right, John, straight jorking it at the Oscars, Cena. Plus the countless collabs that Shark Week has had, most notably being with Jackass, Mythbusters, and Impractical Jokers.
There he goes, there he goes.
Now, did I watch Shark Week as a kid? No. My family barely ever had cable when I was growing up, and frankly, I was kind of too dumb of a kid to know where the channel was anyway. I knew the channel numbers for Nicktoons and Cartoon Network, so I could watch Dragon Ball Z Kai and Regular Show. And frankly, that's all I ever needed. But when my family got Netflix for the first time, I was eating up all the shark documentaries. Not just sharks, but every animal show. Including the dinosaur ones with like the shitty CGI fights, but looked super realistic to you as a kid, but okay, that's besides the point. I grew a fascination for sharks. I remember one book my parents got me that shows you like the anatomy of a shark. I can't find it since I moved, but here it is. And since then, I've been relatively keeping up with Shark Week as the years have gone by. And watching how Shark Week has evolved over the past couple years has made me realize that yeah, Shark Week's kind of fallen off. Over the past 15 or so years, the program has gone less about educating viewers about sharks and more about shock value and sensationalism, because that of course attracts more viewers. I'm not the only one who believes this either. It's been a pretty growing sentiment over the years about how low the quality has gone. One show I found didn't even feature sharks, so I don't even know what the hell that was about. Also, some of the shows just straight up lie to you, like the classic Megalodon. The Monster Shark Lives, which for an hour and a half is Discovery straight up gaslighting you into thinking, maybe the 60+ foot gigantic shark that hasn't been seen in 2 to 3 million years is still around. Same with this one I personally watch called Alien Sharks: Strange New Worlds, where it's just a straight up clickbait. I was hoping it would be about these delusional scientists who think that there are sharks that just came from space, but no, it's just about scientists finding a shark with 7 gills and another one that glows in UV light, which, I mean, it's cool. But I wanted aliens. Even the names of these shows have just gone completely out of proportion. I'll name a few for you that I found. Big Shark Energy, The Monster of Oz, Raiders of the Lost Shark, The Real Sharkano, Sharktopia, Sharks vs. Nazis in Paradise. Jesus Christ. Let's dive into a few of these together, and we'll start off with a simple one, nothing too crazy, a little mundane. Cocaine Sharks. This came out in 2023, no doubt following the success of Martin Scorsese's latest film, Cocaine Bear. When I first saw the title of this, I was elated. I was really hoping it would be a knockoff of Cocaine Bear, or more cynically, just some scientists putting sharks on coke and seeing what happened. I mean, that would be kind of funny. But to my dismay, it is neither of those. It's just about seeing if some sharks in Mexico are addicted to cocaine. I even filmed my reaction to it because I was so excited to see what would happen. It's late, I'm tired, I could be playing Fortnite or Elden Ring, but I'm deciding to watch Cocaine Sharks right now. It says it's 42 minutes, so honestly, I don't know what they can do in that time. Also, I'm sorry for the blank background here. I'll chroma key this out if I can, but let's get into this. I didn't actually script anything for this part because I just recorded my reaction, and I don't remember anything about it. I watched it like 3 or 4 days ago. The fact I don't remember anything is mind-boggling. Blame the ADHD.
With their ferocious appetites, sharks aren't known for being picky eaters. But now, there might be a new and deadly item on the menu.
So from what I remember, these scientists go down to Mexico to see if these sharks are addicted to a little cocaína. They go to the ocean to see if these sharks are a little more hyper. But, I mean, what can you really measure? If they're hyper, that doesn't mean they're on coke.
What I need to do now is hop in the water and look for any strange, abnormal behaviours, aggression, all that kind of thing. So I'm basically looking for something really weird and out of the ordinary.
Oh, and to make sure YouTube doesn't get upset at me, I just want to make sure. I don't, of course, mean that strange little powder. I mean the Coke drink, of course. I even popped a cold one to prove that. It's not alcohol, of course. It's also from my favorite chain, Los Pollos Hermanos. That's awful.
Humans and animals' brains have a neurological reward system. Dopamine in the brain is triggered by experiences such as eating, likes on a social media posts, and drugs like cocaine.
So what they decide to do is try to get sharks a little hyper to see if it'll resemble that.
Highly concentrated fish powder. This is the closest stimulus to cocaine that we can think of. So this right here is the biggest bag of shark cocaine.
They color corrected like the brown fish powder thing to lure the sharks into everything looking white, so as if they're being attracted to cocaine. This is goated. I was hating for no reason. But the thing is though, even though sharks get hyper off it, there's no evidence to support that they were ever on cocaine in the first place. Like I feel like I'm going to be repeating that for this entire part because they never find any sharks that are, on that. They're just sharks. Another thing they do is that they throw sacks into the ocean to see if the sound of that will trigger the sharks to come to it and think that it's, the mysterious white powder. But the problem with that is that early in the documentary, they state that sharks can only recognize things mainly through taste and smell, not through sight and hearing. So what's the point? This documentary is quite literally just 40 minutes of some guys walking around and going, maybe these sharks are on coke. Can't prove it. Can't not, though. Guess we'll never know.
Well, I reckon that was a pretty good turnout. We had loads of sharks getting stuck into the bales, chomping into that fish meal. So we may never know what sharks on cocaine actually look like.
And that's how it ends, though. They don't come to a conclusion. They just say, maybe these sharks were on coke before. Guess we'll never know. The mystery is still out there. Like, what's the point? Why did I watch 40 minutes just for you to go, maybe, maybe not? But whatever, I'm over it. We're going to move on to the more entertaining ones. 2 out of 10 lemon sharks. Just a boring, dull mess. This genuinely might be the worst documentary I've ever seen in my life. Next on our roster is a show that came out this year, Shark Week, actually. And that would be Great White Serial Killer. Sea of Blood. Discovery already made a Great White Serial Killer episode back in 2013 and got a decent amount of backlash, mainly of course for how maliciously it portrayed sharks. Eddy Burback already made a video on that a couple years back, and I had no intention about covering something that's already been talked about, but to my surprise, Discovery made a sequel, and well, that's fair game. The story is about a Mexican village where 3 people have been attacked and ended by a suspected great white shark, the most recent one being just 2 weeks prior to the time of filming, and has left the village scared to continue their business of mollusk diving. So this already makes the title Sea of Blood just a little fucked up. These people had horrific, tragic ends, and the way their memory is cemented is Great White Serial Killer, Sea of Blood. Personally, I would haunt whoever the hell made this.
When the FBI is trying to catch a killer, they stake out the crime scene with a surveillance camera. Because serial killers often return to the scene of the crime.
But this isn't a serial killer with an MO. This is a shark. So they go down to see if they can attract the super killer shark, but I don't know what's expected to happen. Imagine the shark just pops up and kills them both and that's it. They're just like, oh, we found him. It was a shark. Thanks for watching. They do spot a shark, but since we're only halfway through the runtime, nothing happens. And so the next day they go to interview the man who was with the last victim and witnessed them being ended by the shark. This man is giving a pretty emotional and honestly heartbreaking testimony of what happened, and while that's happening, there's just an overwhelming amount of scary shark footage, scary music, and that's just plain gross. It absolutely was not necessary. The man's testimony was more than enough to feel sympathy. And so for all that to happen, and then for the gang to walk off and be like, That was really sad. Maybe I would have felt that if you didn't overwhelm me with just basically older people version of Subway Surfers.
You could actually feel what was coming off him. So much sadness, so much frustration and anger.
And finally, after all this speculation, we have a real hypothesis. It actually may not be some secret scary shark out there that's killing everybody. It might just be that there's sea lions there. And sea lions are their prey. So that's why sharks are there. Yeah, it's a little more mundane, but that's a real conclusion or a real hypothesis. So this little theory is put to the test when 2 divers dressed in black are put in these cages and sent down to see if sharks will come and try to attack them. But these cages are special because they're designed so that future divers can still work and be safe in case a shark tries to attack them. Well, hopefully at least.
Everything is untested. You're never going to know if a great white can pull this thing apart until you see a great white pull this thing apart, so...
I mean, the guys are sent down there and nothing happens, so the village will get some of those cages and... mission accomplished? I mean, future divers will be safer, so that's always a good thing. Well, what about the serial killer shark? What about all this build-up and talk about a super secret, super angry shark that's just been swimming around killing everybody? Well, the answer to that is actually 4 out of 10 serial killer sharks. Just insensitive slop. The only redeemable thing is that they did something good at the end. Last, but certainly not least, voodoo sharks. It's the last one I'll be covering in this giant pile of stinkiness, but it is absolutely my favorite. This one starts off masterfully. It's a recreation of these 2 Louisiana brothers fishing. Everything is fine. The moon is brightin', and the fish is bitin'.
But the moon was bright, and the fish was biting.
Until something goes terribly wrong. One brother is snatched off the boat, and then the other. And yeah, I'm just gonna let you watch this part. And for decades, there's been suspicions of this monster shark lurking in the waters, and the locals call it the Rookin'. I feel like I'm saying a slur. The suspense is built up even more with the locals talking about this mystery shark.
My boat is 18 foot long. His tail and his head was on both ends of my boat.
You know, Jaws is a story. This ain't no story. This is for real.
And so now, our 3 best bumpkins are off to put an end to the mystery once and for all. Our 3 best men to go on this adventure, because I don't remember their names, are Mr. Fisherman, Mr. Fisherman's nephew, who turned this fish into mincemeat, and Mr. Voodoo Expert, who's been hunting the Rookin' himself for decades. So off rip, they believe that if there's any kind of monster shark out there, it's likely just a big bull shark. Which I'm grateful they're at least just being honest at the very beginning instead of just lying the entire time. It also makes sense given the fact that bull sharks can be in freshwater and are known for being aggressive, so...
Bull sharks have the highest testosterone level of any animal in the entire animal kingdom. It is extremely aggressive and very nasty shark.
So what I'm trying to say is, this shark fucks hard. So our 3 main protagonists go to this lovely oil rig to try and bait the monster shark to their cage with blood.
I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been run over, but I've never been scared like I am right now to get in this water.
This one I wanted to pause because, Jesus Christ, man, what are your hobbies? Fuck the shark, I just want to hear this guy's stories by a campfire. Also, the music they use when this guy jumps into the water is so insanely out of pocket. Some sharks come for the bait, but flee because now there's a big boy coming. Could it be the Rookin'? Nope.
Hey, man! I grabbed one by the tail, dude! Pull me out the cage before I let it go! I know!
Blint's close encounter with the monster was not the shark of legend.
There's also this B plot where some scientists are trying to find sharks and tag them, but it genuinely has nothing to do with the main plot. They were just padding out time, so I'm cutting out that filler. Eventually, our 3 protagonists are following behind this shrimp boat to see if it attracted the mighty Rookin'. And well, it didn't. But I just kind of wanted you to see this. He's okay, don't worry. I'm not being completely cynical. He just had a little scrape.
I've been here in Louisiana all my life. The bayou is beautiful, man. One of the beautifulest things you ever seen. But you have to be careful, boys.
Because it could kill you. Just like your wife.
I have nothing to add for this part. I just love him.
Hey! Hey, bro, you ever seen a Ruger shark? Yeah. Tell me about it.
Hey, right now, kind of busy. I got you.
So their new plan, their Hail Mary per se, is to go to the last sighting of the Rukin and try to fish it out. One of them goes in and... Nah, I'm just playing, he's fine. It was just a big old scare, no shark.
Hey, stop all that yelling, man. Nathan, don't you ever do that to yourself again, boy!
With no luck, our heroes decide to have a little campfire story about the Rukin, saving their energy to find it once and for all the very next day.
And you can mark these words. Tomorrow, boys, we're gonna find it. We're finally gonna shed some light on what terrorizes these waters.
So their final Hail Mary is to track a bull shark upriver by baiting it with the most ultimate bait. A fucking hog. And now all we do is wait. But not for too long. There's only 4 minutes left in the runtime. And aside from a lot of...
There he is! Get it! Don't miss it, Nathan! Don't miss it, Nathan! That's it! Oh!
They actually caught a shark. We're gonna do it. We're gonna find the Rukin.
The tracking device gives the team 1 mile of mobility before they lose the signal and the shark.
The fucking cackle I let out watching that the first time. All that, just to go, oh, we lost him. Better luck next time. Nah, I'm half playing. They potentially ended up finding the shark they tagged, but it's been eaten in half. Which means something bigger must have taken that bite. Like, the mighty Rukin?
Monster.
And that's it. It just ends like that. It's over. So much for them saying at the beginning they're gonna solve this mystery once and for all.
And you can mark these words. Tomorrow, boys, we're gonna find it.
The mystery of the Rukin continues, and it lives to bite another day. 7 out of 10 bull sharks. It was really funny, really entertaining. The filler sucked, and it had no actual good conclusion.
Now, what can we learn from this educational experience? Nothing. And I quite literally mean that. From these hours and hours of shark documentaries I force myself to watch, nothing happens. All that happens is that there's some super secret mystery to solve, and then about 40 minutes later they go, well, we didn't solve it, but wasn't that kind of fun? The moral of the story is, watch real documentaries, like actual good shark documentaries. Don't support, shark fishing, that's pretty bad. Shark Week still has a special place in my heart, but yeah, I'm gonna go speak to the locals now. I was gonna do a bit where I walk into the ocean fully, but it's kind of cold right now. I'm not doing that. Goodbye now.